Hi, this is Lynn McCool. I'm here to talk about the rhetorical criticism assignment. So this assignment helps accomplish the course objectives through the use of criticism. As you may recall, criticism is the use of our insight and imagination to clarify our reactions, to gather specific instances to support our reasons, and to suggest ways in which we may improve our presentation. The art of rhetorical criticism is about the evaluation of speeches to enhance one's rhetorical artistry. So we're asking you to take a look at a famous speech and analyze that speech for the kinds of things that the speechwriter and the speech deliverer do well, with the idea in mind that you might incorporate some of those elements into your own speech for the persuasive. The assignment requirements ask that you critique either Margaret Thatcher's eulogy of Ronald Reagan, and you can see I've provided a link there for you to look at that, or you can pick a speech of your own from AmericanRhetoric.com, and hopefully you are picking one that has both text and video format. I ask that you keep the speech choice to something that you find on AmericanRhetoric.com. It does also catalog sermons and different types of speeches. The reason why I ask that you stay within that parameter is so that I have a sure access to the text of the speech and an easy access to it as well, because I do read the speech text before I read your critique of the speech. So that just helps me, and it facilitates grading much more quickly if I can just easily get out to the speech on AmericanRhetoric.com. So you can choose anything from there. If you were to click on AmericanRhetoric.com every time you see a blue set of words here, so for example here, blue here, these are all linked to various pages. So if you were to click on this would take you to AmericanRhetoric.com. So let's just go there for a second. You can see on the home page that there are a number of ways in which it can be used, but one of its most interesting ways is that it is a catalog of speeches. So there's this online speech bank right here, and you can see it says a database of an index to 5,000 plus full text audio and video versions of speeches, sermons, legal proceedings, lectures, debates, interviews, and other recorded media events. So this is one area where you may access the different speeches. Another good place to go is this link down here, so the top 100 speeches, if you're interested in only the most famous speeches of, let's say, the last century, then you could go to that section there and access those speeches, which are really a subset of the speeches found on the speech bank. Okay, as far as the content of your paper is concerned, you'll definitely want to try to reach a 5 to 6 page limit there, 15 to approximately 1,800 words analysis. And what I'm looking for is that you are using lecture material, course content, and that you've accessed this information here, how to do rhetorical criticism, and that you're incorporating some of the instruction that is found on that particular link. Your paper should have two distinct sections to it. So the first section would address what are the rhetorical strengths of this speech. It should be a detailed, thorough analysis. And again, we're really looking to see what the speechwriter and the speech maker, so the person who does the delivery, what they have done well with a speech. And we're looking at that with this in mind. We're looking to see what they've done well so that you can then incorporate some of those aspects of content and delivery into your own speech. So the second half of the paper then would address what have I learned by doing this critique that I can incorporate into my own rhetorical practices. So basically, the second half of a paper is a brief reflection on what you've learned from critiquing the speech and how you think you might want to apply it to your own speaking abilities. So my basic tips are, don't try to say too much. 5 to 6 pages is not much space, but instead begin with your own impressions of what makes the speech powerful. Try to phrase your thoughts in terms of one or two of the 5 canons. or maybe one or two of the appeals, like logos and pathos, or pathos and ethos, whatever. But what you don't want to do is try to discuss everything, because then that gives you a paper that has lots of breadth but not very much depth. I'm looking for depth, not so much breadth. And so pick out those tools that you need to get the job done the way that you want to do it, the way that you want to analyze the speech. One important and key thought that I want to leave with you is that in this particular paper, you are to analyze, not summarize what was said. Remember, I'm going to be reading the speech text before I read your critique, so there's no need for you to spend 2 pages of summary. So just briefly, maybe in a sentence, mention something, and then go ahead with your analysis. So what I'm really looking forward to is the use of specific examples in the form of quotations from the speech itself to develop your analysis, support the claims that you're making, and that will definitely give your paper substance. What I'm not looking for is your quoting or the quotations of other individuals who have already analyzed the speech. Okay, so I'm not interested in what other critics have said about that particular speech. I'm only interested in what you see in that speech and why. And so I ask that you do not consult outside sources that already analyze the speech. Okay, so I want you to do the analysis work yourself. It is appropriate that you consult sources that help you understand the time period. So you can do that. You can understand the background and the time period, the context in which the speech was delivered. Those are sorts of things that you could use a little bit of research on to find out. But the actual analysis part of it, I want you to do yourself. Okay, if you have questions about this particular assignment, please don't hesitate to email me, or when we're together together in class, I can answer them at that time as well. Thanks.